And now, Funko presents Inside the Artist Studio.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside the Artist Studio. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ben.
And we're really excited to be back and talk more behind the scenes Funko art and have another guest and just kind of go through all the fun that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we got more amazing stuff in front of us, different stuff this week. And these items, these pop moments,
Yeah.
these kind of remind me of the word of the day.
Yeah, and the word of the day is
Storytelling.
Yeah, so storytelling, it kind of leads us to our conversation today,
Yep.
which is really about storytelling in art, which is just key with any art, right?
Yep.
It's like whether it's an individual pop where you're kind of telling a story with a character, or these moments, or pop moments, where you're really bringing it all together and relating to a scene and a passionate moment that really fans just love. And so these capture it so well. I just love these.
Absolutely. No, I love these too. I mean, these are some of the really great examples of what we do. You get the environment, you get the interaction of characters, there's movement, there's so much more where you can really bring more of that storytelling in. And
Yeah.
And I know we're having our guest today, really knows even more about this, and she's going to be able to really kind of go behind the scenes and explain how these things really happen.
And she's on her way, right?
I think so.
All right.
Yep, there she is.
Speaking of which.
Hey, Anna. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, good to have you here. This is Anna Corcoran, and she's our Associate Sculpt Director at Funko. And tell us a little bit about yourself, Anna.
Sure. I am so happy to be here. I am going to tell you more about these moments and what it is to work as a sculptor at Funko.
Excellent.
So I guess I would call myself an artist. I've always been an artist, always interested in art. And I would say the origin story, my origin story, is really being inspired by Lord of the Rings, and specifically the special features of Lord of the Rings, where they went really in depth of like digital art, creating the scenes, the characters. And after seeing the special features, I was like, how can I do that as a career? So I ended up applying to an art school to hone that craft and learn digital art. Eventually after I graduated, one thing led to another, and I was able to connect with Funko, meet all of you, and get hired. So that's kind of...
Yeah, and what a great hire, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you've been one of our
absolutely.
top sculptors since, and again, she's kind of spearheaded some of these moments.
Absolutely. So what makes these so fun for you to work on, and what are the challenges that you face in this format?
Good question. Yeah, so as you know, when you look at a standard pop, there's not that much we can play with. We have the figure, it looks straight in the box. There's some definable characteristics, so maybe they're holding a prop, or they have a certain stance that defines them. But when we go to the moment, there's much more room to play with. Like, we have environment, we have more than one character. Normally we have two, but rules are meant for breaking.
Yeah.
With that, you can involve a lot more storytelling. Like, what is the scene that we're portraying, and what are the props that are in that scene? So, with all the moments, we really try to capture the moment that the scene is of, and really trying to make the characters really interesting and really portray that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I noticed that there's a lot of different materials. You've got some clears, you've got, the way you pose them, they're flying, they're doing all these things. I mean, that must be kind of something you really have to think about in the molding process, and just talk a little bit about those challenges.
Yeah, so, as you said, there are limitations, like we can't go that crazy, or else it'll be out of scope of the product. But, we do have more room to play. Like, we can use environment to lift the character. They don't have to
Right.
balance, they don't have to stand on the ground, as a regular pop-up. With these, like, they can be flying, they can
Right.
be lifting off the wall, which is a lot more exciting. But, we do have to consider, like, it has to be an actual product, so molding comes into consideration, and also fit of the characters.
Right.
As you know, with pops, the heads they're a little larger than the body.
There's like
No
no hands above the head.
Yep,
you
yep.
know,
So it
when
gets
they're
a little
kissing, they look
awkward.
like they're banging heads. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. So how far can the sculptor get away
Right.
with placing the figures on the scene without it actually looking like they're bonking heads? So, I would say that's probably our biggest limitation of carrying the characters and representing the scene
Right.
without it looking like, oh, it's two figures hitting heads.
Right. No, and you guys really do capture that and really work around some of those limitations of pop that you don't anticipate till you start making them do things. Right?
Yeah.
These are fantastic. And just your guys with your lighting effects and the water splashing and all that, just adding to that motion and action of the whole moment, which really is what defines it as a moment, right?
Yep.
I know you mentioned storytelling, so just kind of diving into that a little more, because that's our word of the day, if you weren't aware, is that, yeah, tell me about the storytelling behind these. Like, I know it's about picking the right moment, the right scene, the right take that fans are gonna love. What does that look like when you're approaching it?
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna grab this one as example and take you through. So this scene, which I loved working on, there's not an exact scene in the game where they're in this pose. So as a sculptor, our challenge is to look at our reference and think about what is gonna get the person that's buying this the most excited.
Right.
So I made sure to go through all my reference and be like, hey, it would be really cool if I could put them in a certain pose and really try to portray like the intensity of the scene, of the fighting scene.
Which,
Yeah.
there, I mean,
So
he's about
awesome.
to just swing that
Yeah.
sword in, and yeah, just fantastic.
Anna, thank you so much for stopping by. This has been really amazing. We see you every day. We see this magic, but we never get tired of hearing about it from you. And I know our viewers just absolutely love the insight into how you brought these to life. So thank you so much.
Yeah, glad you stopped by the Inside the Artist Studio. Really great to see you and sharing with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun here, and I think I'm gonna go work on more moments.
That sounds
As
awesome.
you should.
All right.
We'll see you
thanks,
around the
Anna.
office,
All
Anna.
right, we'll see you. Wow. How perfect was that?
Love it, love it.
Amazing.
Love having these guests, the insight we get, and Anna's one of our best, and this is such a great line.
I mean, we talk about how much we love these things, and man, if we had more space, we could just put millions of these up in our house. So amazing.
Indeed.
All right, well, now we're at the part of the show where we answer fans' questions, right?
Yeah, I think we have a question right now.
All right, great.
And it's, what do I have to do to get a job as an artist at Funko?
Ooh, that's a good question. We get that
That is.
question a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing we want to see is talent, right? We
Right.
want to see really strong talent, some skills, but also we want to see how people think. How do you think as
Right.
an artist, right? It's not so much this finished, beautiful product, but like, how do you work out ideas? How do you solve problems? And how do you bring some of your personal experience into drawings and stuff like that?
I know you're similar to me. We both go for the sketchbook part.
Yeah,
in
sketchbooks.
a
Yeah.
portfolio, we love people who can have a little bit of skill to draw by hand. Not everybody does. But it is just such a plus, especially for our concept team, of just having those tactile skills along with, of course, the digital skills that come in play. But yeah, it's that, and it's it's not always about college, right?
Right,
It's
no.
not about your education. It's about your talent, right? And just versatility. I mean,
Versatility.
yes, we have some very specialized people, and they do this and they do that. But boy, we have a lot of people who are like utility artists that they can do packaging, they can do illustration. The more versatile you are, the more different projects you're going to work on, and the more you can be plugged in at sort of any part of the process.
Absolutely.
Okay, good question, and we have a second question.
Yeah, let's take a look. All right, what is your first artist memory? Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, I know that my folks put pens and crayons and things in my hands, from the day I was born just about. So I owe a lot to my folks and their creativity, and they're both artists. But really for me it was comics.
Yeah.
I mean, I was obsessed from the get-go, and I've written and illustrated so many comics along my growth as a kid all the way up to, now I still play around with it a little bit. So how about you?
So one of my earliest memories, and I still have this painting, second grade, I did a painting of the Hall of Justice, which now I look at it, doesn't look like the Hall of Justice, but again, things we talked about, things we love, and watching TV shows and just getting immersed in all this stuff and then interpreting it and painting it. And I remember that feeling really cool, and I still have it to this day, and it's still something that inspires me. So yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for those questions. Those
Yeah.
were fantastic. Please keep them coming. We love to do this part and kind of share our personal experiences and open your mind to a little bit of what we do at Funko.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well now we're at the part of the show where we get to look at art from you, the fans. So we're really excited about that. So let's just jump right in and see what we got.
Yeah.
All right, look. We got a piece from Dylan in Texas. And
Yeah,
Look at
Pickles
that.
from Wetmore
Yeah, I
Forest.
know, it's so good.
Close, near dear to my heart, indeed. I love the Wetmore Forest stuff. It was a original line that we developed at Funko. The whole team worked on it. Everybody kind of contributed a monster here and there, and they kind of turned into a whole storyline that we've kind of, created a whole series around. And I love these characters. Pickle's one of my favorites. And look at the detail, right?
Man, he really captured it. Yeah, with all the hair and the great expression, like you can really see who he is. It's great. Awesome artwork, Dylan. Thank you for sending that in. And just reminder to everyone at home, please send us your artwork, questions for the show. We'd love to feature it. Yeah, man, but what another great episode.
Good times.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right.
So until next time, see you guys.
See you guys.